And welcome to another video. So this video is how to put in an offer on a house. So this is an exciting one because obviously if you're watching this video, you're putting in an offer on a house and there's some money coming. So congrats, you are killing it. Alright, so let's get started. First things first, we have to go to DotLoop to start some paperwork. So you're going to go into mykw.kw.com. Once you're in here, we're going to hit the Start e-Transaction button to take us into our DotLoop. So we click that. It's going to switch over to DotLoop. Again, your DotLoop should be red. If your DotLoop is blue, that means you didn't complete the Scott Leroy setup and you're on a free trial, which will expire and you will lose your stuff. So don't do that. Make sure you did your Scott Leroy setup and it is red and everything is happy. Another time it's blue is if you're open a document shared to you by somebody else, so don't worry about that though. Alright, so we're going to go into our sample loop. If you guys watched other videos, you know that there's a bunch of stuff already in here. So normally when you open this up, it'll just look like this. It'll say add new folder. Okay. Down here, first things first, we're going to go to people. All of these people will not be here. So I'm actually going to take a second and just remove the people that are in here so it doesn't confuse us later in the video. So just bear with me 1 second while I delete all of these other people. Oop, crap. Alright, so the first things first, before we even add in any documents or anything like that, we're going to go to people and add in, if you're putting in an offer, in this case it would be your buyer. Let's say your buyer's name is Anita Closing. And her email is closingyay@gmail.com. Role, so in this case it's going to be the buyer. You hit add person, it adds them in here, so now we have our person in the loop. These other loops, these other folders won't be here as well. It'll just see this top part. So we're going to hit add from right here and templates. This is going to be a relatively short video. Oh, again, I got a new contact because as you add people into DotLoop, it does automatically add them into your eEdge database. And then if you have your text alert set up, it will send you a text message saying that they've been added by your contact wizard. Alright, so in here, once we're going to choose documents, again, we have all these folders. Check out some of the other videos to see some more about these things. But for today, we're going to look at the buyer transaction packet. So there is a few different ways that we could put in an offer. One way, and the easiest and quickest way really, is to go to Market Center Forms and hit KW Offer to Purchase. Now, some listings, when you look on the listing agreement, it'll say all offers in contract form. That means you have to do the full version of, why do these pop-ups keep happening? That means you have to do the full version of the contract. If it doesn't say that, the offer to purchase form is basically just a written offer, which you can put in and submit. If it gets accepted, or at what point it gets accepted, you would have to go through and do the full contract still. This is basically saying, here's an offer. We're going to use this when you don't think it's a final offer. When you're coming a little low, you're expecting a counter back. This way you're not doing the whole thing. So we're going to hit add. We're going to add that to the loop. KW offer to purchase. Open it up. Now in here, it is as simple as can be. You're going to put in the date. I don't know what today's date is. So you're going to put in the date here, the property address, the buyer, and the seller. If you need the seller's name, we're going to go to the good old MLS, log in. If you guys are not familiar with the MLS, there is an MLS video as well. Alright, so we're going to go to tax, NJ tax records. Once this opens up, we hit property search, search by street, and we're going to go through Hudson County. In this case, it would be Hoboken. I think I put in Washington Street, and we did 200 randomly. So you can go down here, 200 unit B1, perfect. So you can see who owns it. So this is 200 Washington Street LLC is the owner there. So we go here, now we have the owner information. We didn't have to ask anybody. So the purchase price, this is going to be the amount that you are offering. So let's say 500,000. Initial deposit received. This is sometimes they want a good faith deposit, which is usually $1,000. That is something you'll sort out. Guys, these numbers all have to be figured out, but this is how you fill in the form. Second deposit is the down payment. Hopefully the down payment is 20%, but since we had the good faith deposit of 1,000, we're going to do 99,000. Amount to be financed at this point would be 400,000. So it's the purchase price minus the good faith deposit, and the down payment is 400,000. Balance at closing is 400,000 because you're putting down the down payment. And closing date, you have to figure out what your closing date is going to be. So I'll put like 45 days out, 48 days out, whatever. So you have to figure that out, put in the closing date. Here, you're going to put your name. And you are working as a buyer's agent only. Oh, I checked the wrong box. Okay, so this is tricky. So it says seller's agent only. The box is after. So buyer's agent here. If you're doing both ends, you are dual disclosed. Information supplied by. You could say who it is. Let's just say Empire Realty. I always use that one because they're gone and I like them. And they are working as a seller's agent. Now, as the boxes were after the term here, now for this one, they're before because they love to confuse you. A witness. Can I get a witness? That's you. Again, we're going to click sign here and make the other box no one. Buyer. Click here. I need a closing. Buyer. No one. Seller, you're going to put no one too. At no point are they probably going to sign this and send it back to you, to be honest with you, because you're going to be doing the full contract. So we're going to hit save. Again, if you get a pop-up box that says this has not been shared, just hit don't show me this again and no. Even though in this case we're going to share it because it's only one document, usually you want to have everything ready before you share. So we're going to select this document, hit the share button. It says Anita, it's checked, she can sign. Options, optional message, you could put in, hey, please sign this as soon as possible and get it back to me. We're going to hit share, and it's going to send it out. After you hit that, there'll just be another button that says done, and it's all good. This, not shared, will change to waiting, and you could tell when they viewed it. If you hover over it, it'll say Anita viewed, still waiting to sign, and when she signs it, you'll get an email back saying it's been signed. At this point, once it is all signed, you're simply going to hit this down arrow, hit download, okay? Here is our offer to purchase. After that, you're going to go to Gmail, compose, and we're going to send it over to the listing agent. Boom. Drag it in to attach it. Let's type in, hello, here is my client's offer to purchase. Please respond as soon as possible. Normally I follow this up with a phone call to the listing agent just saying that, hey, I sent over an offer for you. If you can get back to me, let me know. That would be excellent. Normally you'd send, I'm just going to discard because I don't want to send anything to John. And at this point, we're going to go back to the loop. So that is basically what you do. They'll come back to you either with an counter, or best case, they'll come back and they'll say, okay, we'll accept that offer, and then you could do the full contract. Now, doing the full contract, we're going to hit add documents from templates. And then down here, the buyer transaction packet. So there's a lot of things in this buyer transaction packet going on. You have the full contract of sale, which is what we're going to do. We don't need a welcome packet. We don't need the timeline right now. Rest of affiliation, we're not going to need. That's letting people know that we work with Everbank Enabled Title and State Farm if you're using them, but you don't necessarily need it. Receipt of offer, you don't need. CIS, we do need. Informed consent to dual agency. If you're doing both sides, you would definitely need that. We'll take a look at that anyway, just so you could see. Exclusive buyer agency agreement. At this point, it's kind of superfluous just because you're putting in an offer. If you got this when you started showing them stuff, that would be good. If you're putting in an offer, it's really pretty much past that point. But if you're starting to work with the buyer, this is a good point to go and get the exclusive buyer agency agreement and get that signed. Flood disclosure, if they need flood insurance, you could use that. Then protect your family from home, again, is just a booklet. They don't have to sign, but we have to share it. So we're going to take that. And rider to contract for new construction. If it's new construction, you need that, but if not, you don't. So we're going to hit here, hit add documents. It is loading. Also, whenever you send over an offer, I forgot, with the KW offer to purchase, or if you're doing the full contract style, you're going to need to send over one of two things, either the proof of funds, if they're purchasing cash, or the pre-approval from their mortgage company. Okay, so let's get into this contract. Contract of sale. Buyer, need a closing. Seller, we don't have. Buying agent, that's me. Listing agent, if you have the information, you could put it in there. If not, don't worry about it. So this first part is just a notice to how you are working. So we are working with the buyer, not the seller, or if you're dual, both. Okay. Need is already set to sign here. Second buyer, we're going to hit no one. Prepared by Blake Pierce. Okay, so this is the first page of the contract. You have her name. We'll just leave this as seller B for now. Again, if you pull it off the tax records, you'll have that. Their current address. Agrees to purchase from them if you have the seller's address. Again, if not, you can look it up on the tax records the way that we did before. Okay, now down here, oops, I filled in with the old address. So make sure if anything autofills that it fills in correctly. For example, this is incorrect because this wants 100 Washington Street on a municipal map of Hoboken in Hudson County. Okay. Lot and block you'll pull from the tax records. This autofilled, that is not correct, but it does say it on the tax records how we did in the beginning of the video. Down here, this is basically the same as we filled in on that other offer sheet. So you have the total purchase price, initial deposit. If you're not doing one, just put 0. I'm going to do our 20% down in a perfect world. And down here, you have Anita and buyer, no one. She's buying it all by herself. All right, so initial deposit to be paid to I would do the buyer's attorney. We don't hold a escrow account here at the office. Some offices do, but in this case, we are not going to be holding an escrow that money. So on or before, you can do the signed date of this. So you could put that in there. Additional deposit to be paid 10 days after attorney review into the trust account of the buyer's attorney. Sometimes you can do the seller's attorney, but for now we're just going to do this. Okay, principal amount of mortgage. So they're going to be mortgaging $400,000 as a conventional loan with a 30-year mortgage based on 30 payments. Okay, written commitment must be delivered. So this normally we do 30 to 40 days, whatever it is. So here we could say commitment by, I think I have this closed the 15th, so we could say 1 week before the closing. And if they need to extend, it can't be more than 10 days and 10 days. balance of purchase price. The payment shall take place on, so this is the closing. The closing date I had in the offer to purchase letter was the 15th. So we're going to put in the 15th at the office of the buyer's closing agent, such places, sellers. So you're going to agree on where the closing is going to be. You know, that's always helpful. Okay, so FHA or VA loans. FHA loans are when they put a little bit down, they put less down, and VA loans, they put 0 down. You have to just put in here if this is applicable or not. A lot of these questions are applicable or not. Those loans, you have to make sure the building is approved for it. Not everybody can just get a VA or an FHA loan and go and put an offer on anything. The building has to be, you know, accepting of it or approved. So we're going to hit not applicable in this case. Sufficient assets, you know, that's saying that they have the money. Buyer's property sale contingency. This is if the buyer has to sell their house. So if you can't close until the buyer has to sell their house, you have to fill this portion in, but we're going to say not applicable. Okay, items included in the sale. All attached appliances. Make sure if anything's included, you put it in there, like chandeliers, washer and dryer, whatever. Excluded, all personal property. Buyer, no one. Okay. Occupancy and zoning, not to exceed more than $1,000. This is just saying that if they have to find out anything about the property, you know, smoke certificates, stuff like that, it can't exceed $1,000. Condo and homeowner association, if this is a condo unit and they have to have the information for the homeowners association, you would put in here the name and contact for the homeowners association. So say applicable, because we do a lot of condos in this area, and you would say whatever, CMA management, blah blah blah, 555 blah blah at Gmail. Okay, so fees. The current annual association fee. So you're going to do this is say they have a condo fee and it's $300 a month. You're just going to put this in here, but keep in mind it says annual, so you're going to do it times 12. So this would be $3,600. Assessment. This is if there's any special assessments. For the most part, you're going to hit no, but if there's anything special on the property that has to be settled out, you know, you have to put that in there. If there's any liens on the property, stuff like that. Municipal assessment, this is if it's kind of the similar thing. If there's anything from the township or anything like that that has to be on there, you're going to do that. Quality of title, so they're going to do a title search, how the property is going to be used. So this is going to be used as a condo, or you could do a single family residence, or, you know, 2 family, 3 family. However you're going to fill it in, you're going to fill it in there. Tenancies, if there is tenants in the unit, this is an investment property, you're going to hit applicable. If not, you're going to hit not applicable. Lead-based paint, if it's before 1978, you have to do lead-based paint. For this, you're going to hit no. You're going to hit buyer and no one. Inspection, they have 10 days to do the inspection and 10 days to get a counter proposal back. That's for the home inspection. Private well and cesspool, for the most part, that's going to be a no. Point of entry system, you know, we're going to say no. You guys can read up on all this, but cesspool, really, it doesn't happen too often up here. Inspection contingencies, this is all about the contingencies. I'm going to say buyer, no one. Again, this is all about the rights to inspection, flood hazards, blah, blah, blah. Buyer, no one. It's really important. You guys should be reading through this whole contract and understanding it. I'm just going through the parts that have to be filled in for you. But, you know, try to understand what you're getting to people. The majority of this contract is going to be changed and discarded once you get into attorney review. So it's not really the most serious thing in the world if you bosh something on it. But, you know, you want to make sure that you have it as good as possible. Okay, so now here, business relationship. Name of firm, Keller Williams, City Life. And name of salesperson, Blake Pierce. We are working as a buyer's agent. Information supplied by Empire Realty. They're working as a seller's agent. Listing firm, this would be Empire Realty. Their license number, you can look up. The listing agent, Manouche, and his license number you can look up on the MLS as well. The office address is in there. Office telephone number, fax, agent cell phone number. If you don't have a fax number, don't stress about it. Nobody uses fax machines anyway. Agent's email. Then down here, our stuff is filled in. Your license number, if you need to get it, you can reference libertyboardofrealtors.org and get your login and password. I don't even know if I know that. Yeah. Okay, so here's your NRDS number and your license number. So that we can copy and pop right into there. Address, our address is 100 Washington Street. Office telephone number is 201-659-8600. Our fax, I have no idea. They have it on the business cards up front if you are determined to put that in there, but you really don't want people faxing you stuff anyway. Okay, commission due for participating firm. Normally it's going to be 2.5% minus whatever it is. It does say that on the MLS, on any listings. So let me just pull up a random listing. Using my quick search here. Of course, there's none at the one I put on. And there's 585. Yeah, there's too many now. Jesus. Okay, so just a random listing. Here you will see it says, oh, this one's 3%. So it's 3% minus 275. I'll just do 2.5 anyway because that's what it normally is. But the reason why it's that minus 275, if you guys watch the rental video, it's because of the listing fee. So that goes to the agent. So the listing agent gets an extra $275 and we get minus $275 to make up for it. All right, disclosure that seller or buyer is a licensed real estate agent. If they are an agent, you're going to have to put yes and say what type of agent that they are and who they're licensed with. Yeah, talks about attorney review, assignment, electronic signatures are in here that they're legal. So we're going to hit buyer, no one again. And additional clauses. So anything weird or additional you could put into this space here. That's going to come up on a case-by-case basis. A lot of the times you're just going to have nothing. Buying agent, sign, that's me. They have like 95 spots for it, so we're going to make this to no one, and no one. Buyer, no one. We got to get Anita to sign this and send it over to the listing agent in this case. So that's it. We're going to hit save and back. From here, we have the CIS. Very simple. This is just saying who we're working with. Make sure that you get it. You're just going to fill in the part for buyers and tenants. So Anita's going to sign here. You put no one, us, Keller Williams, buyer's agent. That's it. Date. Save. Back. Don't worry about the other side. We need that for us. They need that for them. So we just have to fill out our half for that. Dual agency. If you're doing both sides, congratulations. You have to have this dual agency. So you put your name, that, buyer is Anita, second buyer is no one, brokerage and firm, Keller Williams, our address, and we are going to sign here. Now we're going fast. Protect your family from lead. Again, that's just something that you have to share. That's something you have to fill in. So we're going to select everything, not the offer to purchase because we already did that. Going to hit share. Send it over to Miss Anita Closing. Once that is done, we're going to hit done. This will say waiting. Again, once it's all signed, this will say signed. We could at this point hit the down arrow and archive this because we don't need it any longer. And we could check the folder, hit the down arrow, sorry, not the down arrow, check this whole folder and hit download. And it's going to download this all as one nice fancy PDF called multiple documents. And when you open that up, it has our whole contract, CIS, dual disclosed in there. I had left the protect your family from lead checked. You could uncheck that because the other agent doesn't need that. So you just want to have the contract, CIS, dual disclosed, all in here, okay? When you open the PDF for the first time, it verifies all the signatures, which there is none on here, so I don't know why it's taking so long. But once you download that, we're going to go back to our Gmail, compose, send it on over to listing agent. Say what you're going to say to the listing agent. And drop this in here like so. It's going to upload. We're going to send, and that is it. So now at this point we have our offer in. So you sit and wait. Once that comes back and you have a completely signed and executed contract, you're going to make sure you speak with the listing agent, get the other side's attorney, and you're going to set up an email with the listing agent, your attorney, the opposite attorney, and have both attorneys' information in there and this signed contract. So at that point, you're starting attorney review. Congratulations. Once you're out of attorney review, you receive a letter saying attorney review has been concluded. At that point, you're going to schedule your home inspection. Once you schedule your home inspection out, that comes back, you might have to renegotiate terms. Once negotiating the terms is done, you are going to have the appraisal. The bank will send the appraisal. Once that is complete, you just have to wait for the title insurance and the mortgage company to give you the clear to close, and hopefully you close on time. After that, you're going to do the green sheets. When you go to the closing, they give you a statement called the HUD. So you will get that statement. You will upload that statement into the loop by hitting Add Document from Computer and just select it and add it in. Once you have the HUD, the contract, the CIS, everything signed, you're just going to hit Submit for Review. It's a new folder, and we're going to hit Buying and Submit. Once you submit that, you're going to go and do your green sheet. Once you finish your green sheet, you are done and you are going to get paid. So, guys, thank you for sitting through another episode of You're Doing It Wrong. Just kidding. Okay, guys, thanks for sitting through this video. I'm very happy to be helping you out. If you have any questions, feel free to email me. You know I'm always around, or I will see you during our coaching. Have a good one and use this video often.